there's a video out of this brother talking about how it is for men, um, when they get divorced. And we're gonna be doing a little bit more talking this month about men, especially being that we're coming up on Father's Day and everything. So we want to have a few topics that the men have been dealing with, and it's been going on in everybody's life. And so we got this came up, and the question is, why do they have to take the blame for everything? Bishop, you got that video queued up?
Actually, I do. Let me see. Let me pull
Okay.
it up here for
Yeah,
you.
go ahead and drop that. See what this brother is saying. Let's take a listen.
Okay.
Presented when I was going through divorce is everybody was saying like, y'all need counseling, y'all need counseling, y'all need counseling. And it didn't matter to me that we were doing counseling if nobody was seeing me. Bro, and man, to all the divorced men, I feel like we are the most unseen people. Like when you divorce, you are wrong. Everybody goes to rally around the wife and let's see how she's doing. And what did you do? You did something.
It's always our fault.
It's always something, even with the kids at some point. Like everything in life is geared toward making sure she's okay.
If she cheated on you, apparently you did something to make her feel unsafe in that relationship, for her to feel like she needed to go out. It is never, never, never not our fault.
One of the things I resented when I was
Wow.
Well,
That was a whole mic drop within itself.
oh my Lord. Oh my Lord.
Yeah, he
That
said
was
a
heavy.
lot in there. It's a little bit to unpack. So I'm gonna let Erica Jakes go ahead and jump on there and see what she can put a little sugar on it.
Not
My
for the
Lord.
first time I go first when it's such a heavy topic.
Yeah. I'm over here like, what's she finna say?
Where's Kate? Let me think about this. Okay, wait. I'm not used to going first, guys. Like seriously, but that's a heavy topic.
You want to hand that off to somebody else first? You gonna go first? Okay, look at it.
Because I know I could keep it under 2 minutes.
Okay.
Listen, that's a heavy topic because it's true. Like I have been a culprit of that. Like you get a divorce for what that man did. I am a culprit of that. So it is true, but you know what, guys? Honestly, I really don't know what to say because the truth is, I actually just had a conversation with my family. As you guys saw, I was home for the weekend, and the conversation was, this was the conversation about myself. I need facts before I can empathize. And so I said I would start to work with it. So I want to say I've been a culprit of this actually on both sides because maybe that's just how my brain works. Like my cousin told me, she said, people can come to me crying about their feelings, but I need to know what we're crying about before I can cry with you. And so in that instance, it would be the same thing. If Markell came to me, if Ed came to me, if Joe came to me and said, hey, I'm going through a divorce, my first question would be, what happened? Or what did you do? Like, even if I know their wives, know the people, that would just be my first question before I can say, oh my God, let's cry. Or, oh my God, let's fight this. The men just carry that weight. I don't know why that happens. Like, men are supposed to be the provider, the protector. They're supposed to be strong. And they're supposed to be all of these things. So we always think when something falters, it's their fault. And I hate that for you guys. I really do. I hate that.
Okay.
But
all right.
That's all I'm gonna say.
That's all she got.
I hate that.
For now.
Right, let me get some of y'all answers.
She gonna come back in just a second.
Come on, E-Style.
It's definitely a heavy topic. It's definitely true. Even when the police is dispatched out to the house for domestic disturbance, the man 9 times out of 10 is the one they're removing from the house or taken into handcuffs. I know that we were created first. As far as man or woman, we were created first, and the woman came from out of the man, which is biblical. That's in the Bible. But we live in a day and time where there's so much pressure on the man for everything. everything is either the man's fault or everything is the man's responsibility. Everything is the man's fault or everything is the man's responsibility. And I'm not saying that women don't take responsibility for their own actions. Hey, Kay.
Hold on.
Oh, my bad.
You just gonna.
Okay. I saw it through the peephole. I'm sorry. I saw it through the peephole.
Not the peephole. No.
Oh my!
Who's coming in?
My.
Who's coming in the door? There she is.
Oh, wow.
Hey, Kay. I saw it through the peephole. Hey, Kay. But can we drop the video one more time? Okay,
can you do the dance too?
So she'll know what we're discussing right now before I finish what I had to say.
Can you do the dance too? It don't work when we both do it. Like, can you put your heels up? Swing, where have you been? No? Okay. It only works when we both do it.
Welcome home, okay?
I did.
Praise the Lord.
Can we drop that video one more time?
We're gonna drop it for Kay. It's so good to have you here.
It's so good.
You know what we did.
Listen, y'all, I almost slept through. I literally almost slept through it. I was like, oh my God, I have on my pajamas.
Oh my. So you were represented very well. I just want you to know, for the record, you were represented very well because E. Styles went on ahead and let them know how they can find you.
Let them know.
Mm-hmm. He did do that. Okay. So let me see. Let me bring it up. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go. Here we go. You ready? Let's go.
There you go.
We were doing counseling if nobody was seeing me, bro. And man, to all the divorced men, I feel like we are the most unseen people. Like when you divorce, you are wrong. Everybody goes to rally around the wife and let's see how she's doing. And what did you do? You did something.
It's always our fault.
It's always something, even with the kids at some point. Like everything in life is geared to making sure she's okay.
If she cheated on you, apparently you did something to make her feel unsafe in that relationship, for her to feel like she needed to go out. It is never not our fault.
One of the things
Wow.
Wow, that's hearing it the second time. It has even more gravitas to his words. Hearing it the second time, it makes you really, really think. Ed, go ahead and finish your thoughts so Kay can come on into the suit.
Yeah, I just it's unfortunate that in today's life, in today's world, that there's so much pressure on the man, and it's not to say that men are not built to handle, but we men, we have feelings too, we human too, and everything is not our fault, even though what the brother is saying in the video is true. Everything is looked at as our fault. Like I said before, even when the police is dispatched out to a household with domestic violence, 9 times out of 10, the man is the one they're removing from the crib. He's the one that's gone. Divorce is the man's fault. Cheating is the man's fault. Now, in no way, shape, form, or fashion am I giving a pass to those men that it is your fault. But just in a natural sense, it's a lot of responsibility on the man. I was also saying that it's our fault and it's our responsibility. So it's a lot. That's what I was talking about as far as it being a lot on the man. Mostly everything is the man's responsibility to handle, and then mostly everything on the flip side of it is his fault if it's not handled. So it's just an unfortunate thing, and I totally agree with everything that the man is saying in the video.
And here's the other part that I don't like as well. The other part I don't like is if it don't go well, it's the man's fault. If it break up, it's the man's fault. But when it's successful, who's praised the most? Because at least in football, when it's the quarterback, if the quarterback gets a lot of the credit and the quarterback gets a lot of the blame. You know what I'm saying? So, and I don't know. I mean, and maybe somebody else can expound upon that. But I should.
Go ahead, Kay.
So, I don't know if I just am going to have the unpopular opinion, but I feel like men don't have the community because men have been raised to hold things in, whereas most of the time women are sharing their unhappiness, their insecurities, like they're talking to their village, whereas men don't. Because we have not championed men being in touch with their feelings and saying different things. And while I feel what that brother is saying, on the same token, that's society. That's not, it's just a fact. It's society that we live in that men carry the brunt. And what I will also say, something that he said about like, we're supposed to be built to hold it. Y'all was never built to hold it. No shade to nobody. Please, nobody take this no kind of way. Men, by no means, I am a huge advocate for our men. I definitely, but y'all was never built to hold it, and that's a fact. The fact of the matter is that women historically have been built to hold the brunt of the weight when it comes to not blame. I mean, all of the things. And I think that now it's just getting to the place where people are recognizing that there's a level of weight that does, or even in my opinion, should be on a man as priest, protector, provider of a home. I think that it's never been taught to be managed well. And so because of those things, that's why people get divorced. That's why there are misunderstandings in marriages and things of that nature, because nobody has championed communication. Nobody has championed, babe, like you not feeling this. This is hard. This is pressure on you. It's hard for me to take care of this family when these people won't pay me, what I'm worth. I'm out here trying to figure it out and all of these things. And in the midst of this, I'm feeling unappreciated for the sacrifices that I'm making. We can swing that monkey on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to men, because it's very rare to see a man who really has a community, not bros, not just friends, community. Ones that are going through similar things that they can relate to, that they can say that's in a safe place, because they don't have that. I definitely understand where he's coming from. But that's not to shift blame one way or another as far as like, oh well, nobody checking on the men. It's because you didn't build no village. That's just the truth. And we have not made it that building a village. We hear that amongst women all the time, but we haven't made that be the thing that men really need. I feel like you need that in marriage. I feel like as men and as women, you need that in marriage. You need that whether you single or by yourself. Like you need those things in order to function. And we got to get out of the place of making ourselves islands when the person that we decided to be put on the island with no longer wants to get there. And you a castaway. And they swimming the other way, hoping that somebody gonna get them. And oftentimes it is true. It may be the woman, and it's because the damsel in distress thing. Like they waving, another boat gonna come pick them up. Whereas you think about a man hitchhiking, it's like he look a little suspicious. He look a little shifty. Nobody's gonna pick him up. And I'm using that as an example because I do agree. I think that it's sad, but I think that it's because our culture has not embraced that wholeheartedly. And I can say, we see it now. It's getting a little bit better, but for the most part, it hasn't been like that. So yeah, I'm sorry. I feel sorry for the brother. I heard a whole lot of hurt and pain in their voice.
Also, can I add something to what Courtney said? I want to add something.
Yeah, let me do mine, and then I'll give you a 30-second rebuttal. Kay touched on some key points that I thought was interesting that kind of goes along with the direction I was really getting some understanding on, and that is that where are the safe spaces for men to talk? Those places don't exist, and where they
In
were
abundance.
previously, where they were previously, they're not as readily available, and those spaces have changed. in which
Absolutely.
even now those conversations have to be guarded because women have entered into those normally would be safe spaces for men to talk. That would be the barber shop. That would be the
Mhm.
basketball court. That would be the locker rooms. You know,
The
that might be
gym.
the local the gym, the local cigar lounge. All those places now women have infiltrated those uh, places also. And so it's more difficult for men to have these private conversations. I would like to say that iron sharpens iron. And so I know of a couple brethren, one theologian in particular, but they're going through the process of divorce, and it's very difficult to deal with that situation because you are looked at as the villain. You are looked at as everything has gone wrong because of on your behalf, and it doesn't matter if you're a preacher or who you are. If things aren't normally looked at, even in the eyes of the law, in your favor. And so you have to keep yourself prayerful. You need to get yourself a good attorney, but also you got to keep building your team. You need a psychologist. You need a psychiatrist. You're going to need a counselor to talk to, probably a spiritual counselor, a financial advisor, because
Mm-hmm.
in general, it takes some men between 5 to 10 years to recover from a divorce, and that's mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, and going through the 5 stages of grief, which is in depression, that you will deal with, because divorce is like a death, and it just extends itself because the funeral is not in a week. The funeral could be in 30 days, 90 days. Sometimes if we separate and drag things out, it could be a
Yes.
year or
Yeah.
two before you have this finalization of what's happening. So find
Mm-hmm.
someone that you can talk to. Men, find someone you can talk to until a space is created. And this is something that uh, Bishop and we talk about. If there's not a space for it, then you jump out there and create that space. That's how
Yes,
Jericho No Walls happened. We was like,
yes,
people
sir.
need to have a way to get to church virtually. And the people that are 18 to 35 that'll never come in somebody's church, they need an option to reach out. And so I just would like to say the same thing to you. Weigh your options when you're going through a divorce. Find someone to talk to. Let iron sharpen iron, because it's a very tough, difficult situation. But go ahead, Erica.
Well, actually, you kind of touched on it. I was going to add to what Courtney said about how communication is definitely key. Because a lot of the times with men, they feel like they get a lot of the questioning of what did you do, what or what didn't you do, and things like that. Men get a lot of that, but internally, the woman is dealing with that, especially when it comes to divorce. She's kind of like, well, what didn't I do to keep my husband? What should I have done better? Did this, they're always wondering when it comes to women. They're always internalizing, but externally, men get a lot. And I feel like if communication kind of happened, the man will understand, or people will understand that it was just a mutual separation. And I agree with you and Courtney. It's a lot of times because men don't have that circle of friends. Men do when they, especially married men, they get circles, but they're circles for outlets. Like they'll join a bike club, or like right now they have those Tesla clubs, and they'll join things like that. But it's all about fun and s and giggles, but nothing about like marriage and relationship like women have. So I do agree if men allow circles like that, maybe they wouldn't feel like everything is on
Boom.
them all the time.
I think some men don't open up because in today's society, like Kay said about it's a societal thing. In today's society, for a man to express himself, especially if he's saying, I'm hurt, I'm hurting, or
Hmm.
this hurt me, I'm dealing with
Hmm.
this, or whatever, for a man to express that, we're looked at as weak because we
Hmm.
express ourselves. So we
Hmm.
internalize, which is the weaker thing to do. Internalizing your feelings. I'm talking to my brothers on here that may be looking. Internalizing your feelings, bro, and not expressing your feelings. That's the weaker thing to do. Choose your week.
Yeah.
And I'm not being funny saying that. Like, it's unfortunate that we looked at being weak because we express ourselves, but that's the stronger thing to do. Let people know how you feel. Let somebody know. And the even weaker thing to do is what happens after you internalize and that thing start getting the best of you. That's the decision that you make after that. You just get weaker and weaker and weaker.
Yeah. So then there's a lashing out.
Yeah. Then there's a lashing out. There's abuse, because you have undealt with things bottled up inside of you, and you have so much bottled up that it's just like bursting out, like shaking a can of Coca-Cola. It's when you open that thing, it's gonna burst out.
All right, Ed, get out my refrigerator, man, because I just stopped at the store and got me an ice cold Coca-Cola, man. I put that thing in the freezer, man.
Don't shake it up, bro.
Man, I'm about ready to bust that thing open as soon as Cup of Joe is over with. Are you serious?
Don't shake it up. Don't shake it up, bro.